Hello everyone, I'm Tiwa from Wiser Biker. Now we have known that Decathlon offer very good quality entry-level road bikes as seen from our previous video, but we have also come to search that there are a lot of good values in their road bike range. So today we are going to Decathlon Singapore lab to take a closer look at the range of road bikes that they offer. We'll take a close look at each and every one of them and show you more detail. Now, and don't forget, we also have some insider info to share with you only on this channel. So stay tuned with us, watch out till the end and to find out what is that info. Let's go! Okay, as a beginner, we have come to conclude that there are three very important points that we want to consider when buying our first road bike. Now, so the first is the speed. The second is the weight, and lastly is the price. What I mean by speed? Speed is actually the combination of the gear ratios that the bike has. Weight is very obvious, it's the unladen weight of the whole bike. And lastly, price. Price is very personal. Everyone has their own budget, and for beginners, especially when we just started, we may not know whether road bike is the sport for us. So some of us may not want to spend too much on it, which is why we put a price as one of the key consideration factor as well. So we want to look out for something that offers us the best value for our dollars. Okay, now here in Decathlon, they have two categories of road bikes. One of them is the Triband, and the other one is the fan riser. The Triband series actually targets at more comfort level of riding, so more for a longer distance endurance riding, while the fan riser series is very performance centric. So their riding position can be a little bit more aggressive. Alright, so for beginners, it may be a little bit more uncomfortable for you at the start if you're not used to it. Okay, so if you have any other consideration that's bothering you and you want to seek confirmation or seek a second opinion, do drop in the comment box below at any point of time, and we will try to answer to you. Alright, if not, let's check out the series of bikes that they have, and starting from the cheapest one. Okay, the cheapest model that they have here in Decathlon is the Triband RC100. Now this bike is a 7-speed, so 1 speed in front and 7 speed at the back. The weight is 11.3 kg and the price is $370. Now this is a 7-speed Shimano index shift gear, but it is not an integrated it's not an integrated shifter. So when you are doing your shifting, you actually have to move your hand out of the normal riding position to do the shifting of the gear. Okay, so this is not very intuitive, as modern road bikes usually don't use this type of shift gears. This is a very old generation of shifting systems. Okay, basically belong to the pre-1990s. Okay, so while the price is very attractive at $370, but this bike, in our opinion, doesn't really offer you the full road bike experience that you may want for. So if you can squeeze out a little bit more money, and we will look at the other models. Now here, the second bike we are looking at is the Triband RC120. This bike has a 2x8, so it's a 16-speed combination, and the weight is 10.3 kg. The price is $570, so it's $200 more from the previous bike. And let's see what are the features that you offer on top of the previous bike. Now here we can see this is what we mean by an integrated shift and brake system. Okay, so you can actually do your shifting of gear as well as the brake, all at the same riding position at your foot position. Now this is more of a modern feature for road bikes, and this one in particular uses a micro shift brand of shifter, as well as the micro shift derailleurs. Now, from my point of view as a Shimano Tiagra user, currently my bike is actually using a Shimano Tiagra group set, and this feels a little bit less smooth as compared to the Shimano that I have. Okay, but it does give you a shifting that is more intuitive. Okay, next let's look at it's also using V brakes. Now this bike has got both front and rear rim brakes, and it uses a 28C tire. Now for 28C tire is actually one of the bigger and more comfortable tires for road bike. So this is pretty much catered for beginners to have a more comfortable ride. And lastly, it has got a Pro Wheel ounce crankset, and this is a 2-speed. So it's more natural. The previously is only at 1-speed, so this one is a 2-speed. So this setup is pretty much more of a looking more like a road bike. Okay, this bike also comes with a carbon fork. Okay, so far for $200, we are seeing a lot more upgrades on this bike. Carbon fork simply makes the bike much lighter. You shave off some grams here and there, it makes the whole bike lighter, so it makes it much easier for you to climb a hill or do your long distance rides. Okay, however, from my experience, okay, this is only my personal experience to you, just squeeze out a little bit more. Okay, we are getting very close to a very good road bike, so just squeeze out a little bit more of your budget and look at the next model. Okay, the next bike is the Triband RC500. So this bike has actually a 2x9 speed, that is an 18-speed combination of gears, and is weighed at 10.6 kg. The price is $870. Now let's go into the features the added features that it has as compared to the RC120. Now most obvious is this Shimano Sora group set. It's 2x9 speed. Again, it is an integrated shift system. First impression, this one is actually much more comfortable. The grip is much more comfortable as compared to the micro shifts that we have seen earlier on the RC120. And it's also much smoother. It's actually easier to shift with the whole lever is able to move together when you shift. So it actually makes the shifting much more comfortable, much more intuitive, and it's very smooth. Okay, so a full Sora group set also comes with the crankset as well as the derailleurs, and they're much lighter. In terms of weight, this is actually lighter. The group set itself is lighter than the micro shift earlier on. But however, why this bike is slightly heavier than the previous model is because of this. Here, it actually has the first bike that we see that has a disc brake. This is a Proman disc brake, and because of the disc brake, the weight of this bike is slightly higher. Now, it also uses a 28C tire, which is wide enough and comfortable tire for beginners, as we have mentioned earlier on. Okay guys, this one is really friendly for beginners. The Shimano Sora group set is very comfortable. It's got the 18-speed combination. It's very sufficient for any beginners to try out. And because of the integrated shift gear, it makes you feel very comfortable and very easy to shift the gears as you are riding on the different riding positions, the different grips. Okay, and at $870 with this type of setup, it is a very good bargain. Okay, this is the first Van Rysel series that we are going to look at. It's the RCR900. Now it goes on a Shimano 105 group set, a full Shimano 105 group set that is a 2x11 speed. So total there's actually 22 speed combinations for you to play with, and the weight is 9.2 kg. Now the weight is dropping below 10 kg now, and the price is $1,500. So you can see that is the correlation. As the weight goes lower, the price also goes higher. Okay. Now the shifting of this gear is really much more smooth. The design of the shifter is more ergonomic, so it fits the palm very naturally and very comfortable. The shifting is very smooth as compared to Sora, and it's even better than the one that I'm using right now. I'm using Terra, so it's really something that I myself would really want to get it as well. And just to let you know, the price itself for this Shimano 105 group set as a retail price alone is $800 to $900. So it costs about the price of this bike already. Other than the Shimano 105 group set, this bike also comes with Shimano wheel sets, as well as a more narrow tire that is a 25C tire. So overall, you see that why this bike is more performance centric. So far, we've seen all the parts that are using are pretty high performance parts. Even the bar tip itself is better to grip. And lastly, this one also uses a carbon fork as well as the previous series. Now, a carbon fork together with the Shimano 105 and the Shimano wheel set, I think probably that's what makes this bike much lighter than the other models. So if you already have the budget, this is the bike that you should go for as your starting bike, because at $1,500, there's really simply too much value inside this. And I don't even know how they can sell all these specs with just $1,500. Okay, this bike is going to last you for a very long time. It's going to satisfy you for a very long time as a beginner. Okay. Now, for those of you who want the best that Decathlon has to offer in Singapore, their road bike. Now, this RC900 also comes with a carbon fibers edition, which is this RC900 Carbon fiber. So the frame itself is all carbon. The fork is also carbon, so everything else is similar to the previous model, except that this is only weighed at 8 kg. And it comes with a price of $2,200. So this bike similarly also uses a full Shimano 105 group set, as well as a Shimano wheel sets on top of its carbon fiber frame and carbon fiber fork. So overall, this bike is actually much lighter and prettier. Now, although this bike is very, very beautiful and it's got a lot of value in it, but for myself as a beginner, when I was deciding on my own first road bike, I actually went for aluminium frame, because to me, a carbon bike offers very little room for error. So if unfortunately I got into any accident or I crash, I may actually break some parts, and well, it's $2,200, so it can be quite painful. Alright, so I hope that today we have made you more informed about the different road bikes that is offered here in Decathlon. Now, of all these road bikes, we actually chosen 3 of them as our favorite. Now, if the first one is that if you have a budget that is pretty tight, then you should minimally go for the RC120, because that is the bike that can offer you the full road bike experience with the integrated micro shifters. And at a price point of $570, it is actually very, very cheap, and you can hardly find similar spec in the market for other known brands. The second bike is for those who have a slightly bigger budget, say roughly around $1,000, then you may really consider the RC500 seriously, because this bike comes with Shimano Sora group set and disc brakes. For similar spec outside in other known brands, it can cost you easily $1,200, $1,400. So it's really a steal. It's a bargain, all right? And for those people who have a budget of around $1,500, then please go for the RC900, because at this price point, I cannot find any other bikes in the market that offers a full Shimano 105 group set. Now, why we stress so much on this as the best value, the biggest bang for the buck, is because this bike can last you for a very long time. From beginner, as well as can last you about 2-3 years or even 4-5 years without needing to upgrade anything. It's going to satisfy you for a very long time. This is why we really love the RC900. Okay, I believe that by now most of you are convinced that Decathlon's bikes are very, very good value. The only problem is you may find is that they are constantly out of stock. But here's the good news. We managed to find when the stocks are going to be coming in. Now, here is the insider news. We managed to find out when the stocks are coming in. Here, let me tell you each particular models and the time that they're coming in, okay? So are you ready? For those of you who are aiming for the Decathlon road bikes, take out your paper and pen or put it in your phone right now. For RC100, they're going to be likely to be restocked from September 20th onwards. September 20th, 2021. For RC120, they're likely to be here same September 20th to November 8th. For RC500, it is likely to be here in May, around the 24th of May 2021. For RC520, they are likely to be in stock from August 30th, 2021. And for RC900, it is likely to be restocked from June 28, 2021. Alright, that's all I have for you today at Decathlon Singapore Lab. And please let us know which is your favorite bike, or if you have been using one of Decathlon's road bike, do let us know what are your opinions and your user review, and drop it down in the comment box below so that other users may, other viewers may get to know more as well. Okay, so do subscribe and like our channel just to show us your support. Thank you very much. I'm Ji Hua from Weiser Biker. Bye bye.